All right, guys, if you saw my last couple of videos, you saw that I mentioned this one. This is SnyperFund. It's about to drop in 50 minutes and 0 seconds. So I want to get this video done real quick, quickly edit it, throw some background music on, and get it launched in time for you guys to actually get in right at launch. None of this is financial advice, you guys know that, but I preach that it's better to try to get into these protocols earlier to give you the highest likelihood to win and to profit. So I'm going to do that same thing here. The risk at getting into new protocols early on is that, if it's not a known dev, then you take the risk there. Luckily, in this case, the dev is known. We've been in other projects that he's done. I'll mention what those are here in a second, but this is just a cool ROI Dapp. It's going to start out at 3% and then I think move to 4%. So let me quickly jump over. Let's just go straight into the audit so I can explain some of this stuff here. First off, I got an 84, which is really good. Backdoors, so no backdoors. Owner gets 100% because he's done a few other projects. Fees 75, which they're reasonable, so that's not a huge deal for me. And then team trust at 80, which is still pretty solid. Obviously he's not the only member of the team here, but let's just quickly talk through the basics of the protocol. This is a miner style daily ROI protocol, similar to Mischief of Fortune. A lot of you guys were in that, and it's a fork of BUSD crops yield farmer. Of course, this is on the Binance Smart Chain, which makes things really easy for a lot of us, and it runs on USDT. So if you've got some USDT in your wallet, perfect. If not, you can grab some from PancakeSwap. There's also the ability to swap it directly on the site. So daily ROI percent, 3% daily for up to 100 days. The minimum's $10, maximum 20,000. And then on August 1st, this plan bonus starts, and the daily APR can be increased by that 1%, making it a total of 4%. So that'll be interesting. Similar to Mischief of Fortune and some of the other dApps we were in recently, there is a cutoff time. Even their previous dApps, Purple Beans and all that, there's a cutoff time of 10 days and then a withdrawal cooldown of 24 hours. So you can really only withdraw every 24 hours, and then you got to take an action at least every 10 days. If you don't, your rewards will stop accumulating. This was important because we've seen this in the past. Making a new deposit on top of existing deposit will not reset the withdrawal cooldown period. So here's the main stuff. Backdoors, no vulnerability in the contract. It's going to be immutable. There's also no owner privileges, no additional things. The contract's going to start as soon as that time clock goes to 0, then everything's locked up. So the fees, 10%, we're kind of used to that. It's a little bit on the higher end, but 6 of that goes to project fee, 2% to developer fee, and 2% to marketing and buyback. So it says team trust. Team has 2 previous projects. Really, I know this dev has more. He did a couple versions of the Purple Beans that were a little bit different. Avax Fury, I believe the dev goes by Snow Fury, but I've been talking to him for a really long time. We were in both Purple Beans. If you got into those with me anytime it's toward the beginning, then you profited in both. I made a lot of money on one and just some decent money, 20% profit or 30% profit, something like that on the second one. All those contracts were immutable. All of them were perfectly safe. So we should expect the same here. As always, it's important to know what you're getting into, so I won't read every single line on here, but this ROI Dapp relies on new funds being invested. If the contract reaches 0, then investors will not be paid out. So it runs on Ponzi tokenomics. It's a first in, first out system. You're going to want to get in early, play the game, take profits responsibly, get to ROI, and then you can figure out what you want to do with the rest. So again, not financial advice. If this is some of the stuff that you like, then great. If you only want to do stuff that has external revenue, then that's great too. It's totally your choice. Here is the white paper. It's got all the functions and details of exactly how it works. I won't read through everything, but it's a pretty similar setup to what we've seen in the past. But they've got an anti-whale feature. They're starting at about 3%, and then they're going to roll to 4% after the 1st of next month. They've also got a few other things on the roadmap. They got play to earn and a few other additional items they're going to build out to try to increase the longevity. For me, what's most important personally is that I got to get in super early. It's got to be a trusted dev who's done other projects. And if it's not an external revenue type tap, then it's something that needs to be immutable, which it is. So I highly recommend, of course, doing your own research. Come in here, read through all these if you'd like to. I have already taken a look at all of it. I feel confident, but you need to make sure that you feel confident too. As you can see here, they spent some good time on the site. It looks awesome. Let's click Launch Dapp. And like I said, this of course is going to be USDT. I love these colors. It kind of gives me the old Tron vibes. All right, let's connect the wallet. So if you're digging this one, this is how you would get in. You'll come down here to stake USDT. This part should be pretty simple. What you're going to do is you're going to enter the amount that you're going to approve, and then you're going to have to come back and stake it. So 2 separate transactions. For me, I'm probably going to do my normal here. Feel really confident in this one. Probably going to throw in maybe like 1,000 of this. So I'll start with 1,000, maybe 1,200, something like that. I'll get that staked, and then I'll go from there. Once I've done that, it'll start populating everything in my dashboard. Of course, there's no deposits, no withdrawals, no new users. None of this stuff is in here yet because it doesn't launch for another 45 minutes or so. So feel free to jump in here and do some more research. If you feel comfortable in this one, go ahead and jump in. If you don't feel comfortable with it, just sit on the sidelines. It's not a big deal. There's always going to be another opportunity. But I do really like this one. I do trust the dev. I've been in multiple of his projects in the past, and I always benefited from those. I was able to profit. So I'm hoping that we can also profit on this one if we get in early and play it correctly. And for me, since it's an immutable contract, no external revenue, it means I need to definitely get in early and then, take profits responsibly to the point to where I can get to at least the break-even point, and then I can kind of do whatever I want. I can continue to compound, build up my balance, or whatever. It's worth noting that there originally was an emergency unstake function on this. I mentioned this in my last video, but they had an emergency unstake function so people could take funds out if they really needed it. The problem is we saw with TrueFund and Bank Vault that as soon as people got to a period where they were basically able to ROI, if they emergency unstaked, people were willing to do that and make 5% or 3% or whatever on their money, which isn't very good. But I guess if people are throwing in a lot of money, it could be a reasonable sum. And then the problem is when some of those bigger investors, they pull out, everyone sees the contract balance dropping, and then everyone pulls out and panics. So unfortunately, a couple of the protocols that I think could have done a lot better actually drained their own contract balances and did themselves a disservice by having that emergency unstake. I like that it's there for if you really need it. The problem is people, of course, are using it as a tool to just collect ROI and then get out. So I'm glad they removed it. They removed it a few days ago. We did a vote and just said, hey, all the people in the Telegram groups just said, hey, we would like you to remove it. I think it was like 80% of people wanted it removed because we just saw what happened with the other 2 protocols. So they went ahead and removed it. They sent it back over to George at the stamp to re-audit everything. Of course, since that was the only change, came back with the exact same audit score that it had previously. So that's the protocol. That's how to get in. As always, if you have any questions, just put them down below in the comments. We'll try to answer them, or you can jump into my Telegram group. I know that there's a good handful of people that are in my group or on my admin team that will be jumping into this one because they did well in the other one. So hopefully you like this kind of content. Wanted to try to bring it to you prior to launch, so it launches and you guys can get in right at the gate. Please smash the like button. I truly think this one is actually going to be profitable for all of us. So hope you're having a great day and happy investing.